Hello, this is Clean Coach Carly. I'm the staff nutritionist at Healthy Habits Living. I'm telling you about some of my best secrets for women's health. Now, these come from a company called Vitanica, and it was started by Dr. Tori Hudson early in the 90s, and she is dedicated to women's health. She's a naturopathic doctor and a well known herbalist. She uses herbs and plants, botanicals, to create synergistic formulas to help with some well known female issues. So, when you use botanicals are different parts of plants. So, they might be an herb, they might be another type of plant, they might be a flower, a shrub, a bush, a fruit, whatever it is. They're called botanicals. When you use multiple botanicals together, you're stacking their properties to help you. And they usually create a synergistic or exponential effect. So, in other words, if one herb or botanical helps you 10%, another one helps you 20. If you use them together, sometimes you get a 30% improvement in your symptoms. So that's what Dr. Tori Hudson has done. She has created some synergy in the formulations of the botanicals she's using. So the first combination, and this is two formulations that I like to recommend, is for bladder infections or UTIs, urinary tract infections, burning upon urination, or interstitial cystitis. Now, IC, as it's known, is difficult, and we don't exactly agree or know the exact cause, and there's probably more than one cause for interstitial cystitis. So it's important to know what you're dealing with. So, if you're having UTIs or UTI symptoms, I recommend Bladder Ease. Now, Bladder Ease has vitamin A, which is for your immune system. It has glucosamine HCl, which is the only form that has been studied and shown to be absorbed and taken up by human cells, particularly in the bladders, to help the lining of the bladder to regenerate healthy cells if it's been damaged by an infection or inflammation. There's also L-arginine in here that helps with blood flow. There's Oregon grapefruit, which helps to repel or not allow bacteria, including E. coli, to adhere to your bladder lining. The last ingredient it has is corn silk, which reduces inflammation and also acts as a diuretic. A diuretic is something that allows your body to release extra water molecules that are inside the cell or outside of the cell. Now, this is bladder ease. 3 caps up to 3 times per day, depending on how severe your symptoms are. So I would take this at the onset of any symptoms related to your bladder. So burning, frequency, urgency, or itching on the outside. And this can also, of course, be vaginosis, but it can also just be a urinary tract infection. Now, if you're having recurrent infections, or if you've been diagnosed or suspect that you have IC, or if you just have a standard bladder infection, you would want to consider using Cranstat Extra on top of that. Now, some people say don't take cranberry juice if you have IC because it's too acidic. Well, that is true, but cranberry extract in a tablet or a capsule form may actually be helpful for IC. So you'll have to kind of weigh that out based on your symptoms. Now, cranberry is also known for preventing E. coli from adhering to your bladder lining. And E. coli infections is one of the known causes of IC. We suspect that there are other organisms that are adhering to the bladder wall that may be causing IC, but E. coli is one that has been really pinpointed. So I recommend these two in conjunction, unless you know that the acidity in cranberry juice is going to affect your IC, and then you start taking the Cranstat Extra and you're having a flare up in those symptoms. That would indicate the acidity, the lower acidity in the Cranstat Extra capsules or tablets is even too much. You've got to stay away from the juice, but it could be that the capsules are too much for you. The other reason not to take Cranstat Extra is if you know that genetically or in the past you are prone to kidney stones, because you're going to want to avoid cranberries in general altogether if you are known to have kidney stones or have had them in the past, because cranberries and cranberry extract are high in oxalates, specifically calcium oxalates, which can cause stones in some people. So if you're going to take Cranstat Extra, 1 to 2 caps daily, I recommend at the onset again of any bladder type symptoms, and take it in combination with Bladder Ease. The next trio of formulas that I like to recommend together are Thyrofem, Chasteberry Extract, and Breast Defend Cycle. So, Thyrofem obviously is for your thyroid. Many women have PMS or PMDD. And of course, this is a hormonal issue. And we need to remember that thyroid is a hormone also. And oftentimes, when we are experiencing hormonal shifts, progesterone and estrogen with PMS or cycling or menopause, we have a compromised thyroid as well. So in the Thyrofem, we have vitamin C and vitamin E, which are antioxidants, which help protect the thyroid from oxidative molecules. We have B12 because many people that have lower thyroid function also have less synthesis of B12. So they're low in B12 because their body isn't making as much of it for them. Then we also have zinc and copper, and these are balancing minerals. So we need our zinc balanced with our copper and vice versa. Both zinc and copper help your body convert T4, which is inactive, to T3, which is the active form of the hormone that gives you energy and fuels your cells. We also have selenium in this formula, which also helps convert the T4 to T3. We have tyrosine in here because tyrosine plus iodine makes your T4. So without tyrosine, without iodine, we cannot naturally manufacture T4. And then there is some kelp extract in there, which is a natural form of iodine. And then we have ashwagandha and rhodiola. Now, both of these are adaptogens, which are supportive for your adrenal glands. We know that the thyroid and the adrenal glands work together to make and regulate energy release and stress hormone release throughout the day. So I recommend this at 2 caps 2 times per day. If you're having hormonal symptoms, which you usually are if you're having thyroid symptoms, I also recommend chasteberry extract and or breast defend cycle. Now, breast defend cycle is another formula that's obviously helpful with some of the same nutrients as Thyrofem. So I recommend that if you're taking Thyrofem and you're still having breast symptoms, which would be fullness or tenderness or swelling, that you take a dose of Breast Defend Cycle, 2 capsules twice a day while you are having those symptoms. And those breast type symptoms usually happen 1 week before menstruation. So that's usually days 21 through 28. Some people will even start as early as day 11 before they ovulate. So use Breast Defend Cycle when you are having breast symptoms. And if you're using Thyrofem, continue to use Thyrofem for the rest of the month. Now, if you're having really big hormonal swings, I recommend chasteberry extract. This can be used on top of both Thyrofem or Breast Defend Cycle, or it can be used by itself. Chasteberry extract, also known as Vitex, is a hormone modulator. It lowers estrogen by opening the pathways for your body to make more of your own progesterone. So, in other words, it's not suppressing estrogen and it's not making more progesterone. It's opening the pathways for that to happen within your body by modulating your pituitary gland and prolactin production. So, I recommend this for PMS, for PMDD, and for perimenopause, because this is when estrogen starts to rise. So we naturally want to bring that down, and progesterone starts to lower, and we want to bring that a little bit back up so that we can be more in balance and experience less symptoms. So Thyrofem, chasteberry extract, breast defend cycle can all be used in conjunction, or they can be used on their own. The last two things are not specifically mostly for women, but they can be. So a lot of people, specifically women, get headaches associated with PMS or PMDD. So headaches have lots of causes. One of the causes is not enough blood flow to the brain or the head and neck. Sometimes we can get this so bad that we're having migraines. We're seeing stars and blackness. So butterbur is a natural blood flow increaser, specifically for the neck, head, and brain. In this Butterbur Extra formula by Vitanica, there's also magnesium, B2 riboflavin, which is known to support headache reduction, ginger, feverfew, and 5-HTP for brain support. So I recommend Butterbur if you have cyclical hormone headaches or if you have them on a regular basis. And the last formula is the Bitters Tonic. Now, how do you know if you need Bitters Tonic? The biggest symptom is nausea, either right while you're eating or after you're eating. This is a signal that your digestive juices in some part of the digestive system are not releasing or they're not enough. So we have digestive juices in the mouth, we have them in the stomach, we have them in the small intestines where they're released from the gallbladder and the liver. So if you're having nausea while you're eating or right after you're eating, consider bitters tonic right before you eat. That's the best time to take it. This is not enzymes. It's not TUDCA. It's not a bile mover. It's not stomach acid. So it's different than any other type of supplement that you might already be taking for digestion. This is simply a way to, they're astringent herbs and simply a way to get your own gastric digestive juices moving and flowing. So it's almost just like a little nudge for the saliva to release digestive juices and enzymes, or a little nudge in the stomach to release some stomach acid, or a little nudge for the gallbladder to pump out some bile. So if you're experiencing that nausea right when eating or right after, try taking bitters tonic, half a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon right before you eat your meal. So these are some of my best and most favorite formulations from Vitanica, made by Dr. Tori Hudson. Here at Healthy Habits Living, we are always here to support women and men in their best hormone health. We are here to help you get healthy so you can stay healthy and be healthy.